Today, we unravel one of the most daring and dramatic events in Viking history, the Siege of Paris in 845. Imagine 120 Viking ships sailing up the Seine, their warriors ready to take on one of the most powerful cities in Europe. Led by the legendary Ragnar Lodbrok, they brought chaos, fire, and a ransom so large it changed the course of history. This is the story of the Viking Siege of Paris, a tale of cunning strategy, fearless warriors, and the empire that bowed to their might. Let's dive in. Our story begins with the rise of the Vikings in the late 8th and early 9th centuries. Originating from Scandinavia, these seafaring warriors became the terror of Europe, using their advanced ships and unrelenting tactics to raid, trade, and settle. Paris, the heart of the Frankish Empire, was a tempting target. It was a city of immense wealth, situated on the Seine River, and most importantly, vulnerable. By the mid-9th century, Viking raids had escalated, and in 845, they set their sights on Paris. But this wasn't just any Viking raid. It was a massive operation, reportedly led by none other than Ragnar Lodbrok. Now, who was Ragnar Lodbrok? He's one of the most famous figures in Viking lore. According to sagas, Ragnar was a warrior king with unmatched bravery, cunning, and ambition. While historians debate whether he was a real person or a blend of several Viking leaders, the Siege of Paris is often attributed to him. Whether or not Ragnar himself commanded this raid, it's clear the Vikings had a bold and strategic leader. Picture this: over 120 Viking ships carrying more than 5,000 warriors sailing up the Seine River. Their dragon-headed longships cut through the water, spreading fear across the Frankish countryside. The first major clash occurred at Rouen, a city that the Vikings quickly overran and plundered. From there, they continued their journey toward Paris, leaving destruction in their wake. But the Vikings weren't just about brute force, they were also master strategists. They knew that taking Paris required more than just numbers. It required psychological warfare. When the Vikings reached Paris in March of 845, the city was unprepared. Its defenses were weak and its armies were scattered. The Vikings launched a ferocious assault, breaching the city's defenses and causing widespread panic. According to some accounts, the Vikings even captured prisoners and executed them in plain sight of the city's defenders, a chilling display meant to break their spirit. Paris fell quickly, and the Vikings began their plunder. Churches, markets, and homes were stripped of their riches. But the real prize wasn't just gold, it was power. Enter King Charles the Bald, the ruler of the West Frankish Kingdom. Facing a crisis of unprecedented scale, Charles made a decision that would go down in history. To save Paris, and perhaps his kingdom, he agreed to pay the Vikings a ransom of 7,000 pounds of silver. To put that in perspective, this was an enormous sum, enough to cripple the Frankish treasury. The Vikings accepted the ransom and withdrew, but the damage was done. Paris lay in ruins, and the Frankish Empire's vulnerability was exposed. The Siege of Paris in 845 was more than just a Viking victory. It was a turning point in European history. It demonstrated the immense power of the Vikings and their ability to challenge even the mightiest empires. For the Franks, it was a wake-up call. In the years that followed, they fortified their cities and developed new strategies to counter Viking raids. But for the Vikings, it was a golden age, marking the height of their influence across Europe. And what about Ragnar Lodbrok? According to legend, he continued his conquests, but his story ended tragically when he was captured and executed by King Ella of Northumbria. Whether true or not, Ragnar's legacy lived on in Viking lore, inspiring generations of warriors. And so, the Viking Siege of Paris remains a tale of bravery, chaos, and ambition. It's a story of how a small band of seafaring warriors took on one of Europe's greatest powers and won. What do you think? Was Ragnar Lodbrok the genius behind this raid? Or is his legend just that, a legend? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Join us next time as we uncover more fascinating stories from history. Thanks for watching.